Paul Willis, South Randall Gray, Student Life.
Liz Cornegate, Student Life, South area.
Tom Hines, New York. Hey. Kevin Key, Student Affairs. Student Life, Student Affairs, been everything.
Yeah, whatever it's called this week, right?
Officers, roll call. Kevin Key,
Vice President,
Commissioner Ray is here.
Vice President.
Cynthia Stewart, excuse.
May.
May Adams, excuse.
See, he just let you go.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Chair. There's a treasury report for April 1st through the 30th. If you don't have one, there's one on the table as you sign in. Please look it over. Any questions, comments, or concerns with the treasurer's report? Any questions, comments, or concerns with the treasurer's report? If there are none, can we get a motion to pass the Lynn? Second.
Second by Paul. Paul Willis.
Pass. All in favor? Say aye. Aye.
All again? Can you say nay? Good morning.
Good morning.
You should have before you, you may not, copy of the president's report. I'm going home. What is it? Well, what's up? I'll make the president's report.
There you go.
Contract negotiations. Secretary of State's office, which is one of our units. We had a ratification vote about 2 weeks ago. They do now have a current contract. It was passed by 97% of the voting membership. It took approximately a day and a half.
What?
It seemed to have been a record for all involved, and the membership was very satisfied with the agreement. The agreement was, to some degree, concessionary, like a one step back, one step forward, no real progression. The things that had been taken away by the state previous to that have now been put back in. They did not, however, receive an across-the-board raise for the duration of the next contract. They seem to be jubilant, given the atmosphere, the politics, and what the other 46,000 state employees receive in their contract. So it's progressive relative to what everybody else is getting. OSU negotiations are still ongoing. We work particularly hard. Now is what some people might call crunch time. We are looking and focusing now very diligently on wages and benefits. We have approached nearly all of the parts of the contract. We've had some necessary distractions, like parking, and some community action that are necessary, but we've not been distracted to the point that we haven't taken care of those things we're sensitive. This week starts a very aggressive narrowing of those talks, and we should be coming back to you soon with some sort of package. I think this is, I've done about 16, 17 contracts, including other units. This is probably starting to be one of the most sort of difficult ones, even a little more than the one that caused the strike in 2000. It's a different time. At that time, there was no selling off or reinvestment of assets like the parking lot. At that time, there was no $1 billion project that included the dissemination of neighborhoods. At that time, there were no corporate people in very high places making corporate decisions with public workers. At that time, there was no political movement that said that public workers make too much vacation time, should be on merit, and should do a number of things. At that time, none of those things were present. At this time, they are center stage. Makes it a little more technical, a little more difficult to get public awareness. At that time, the unemployment rate wasn't hovering around 8.5. Those were different times. We took different measures, but we're still the same people in that public workers deserve all that they work for, employed for, all that they historically have gone to work for. Everybody still deserves a boss that's trained and competent and fair. And everybody still deserves a safe workplace, safe rules, things that you can vote on, things you just have. So those things are the same. Almost everything else is different. So we move toward doing those things which are the same. I anticipate there may have to be some action. We will continue to assess whether or not to take a strike vote if that is indeed the action that we look at. And so what will probably occur is we will come back to you in the hours of it. And we'll be either doing a strike vote, we bringing a package, or making an exception. Now, in our last executive board meeting, as you know, our secretary now here, the executive board made a decision to not have a June or July meeting this year, business meeting such as this, other than to either update you on any current contract negotiations.
This is June, was that July and August? You said June and July, this
Did I
is
say
June.
June or July?
Yeah.
Well, you can get me after I'm done. I don't
Okay,
want
I'm
to
sorry.
June, no, this is June, July and August meeting.
Apologies.
Other than to do a contract update, a contract vote, or a strike vote. And if those meetings too are to occur, you will get asked, we have to give you at least a 10-day notice for the strike vote. And actually, we try to give a 10-day notice for every meeting that they have. So we'll be doing it. We believe that over the last year and a half, we have created a communications team, which has created in turn a communication venue that includes about 10 different ways to get information. Some of them existed before. The other ways are a boost to. So we have a card communication card that we have you fill out, if you so desire, that has your cell phone number, home address, and other contact kind of information. And that's one, the text alerts. People have made a decision to either get text alerts or not get them. Because sometimes your carrier charges you. Some people say they don't. We have a website that has been updated very regularly, as it wasn't before. It is now very regularly updated. We have Facebook, which we do events and announcements of events going on. We have a YouTube station, which you can see is being recorded today. So meetings are all recorded and on that station. We still have our telephones, which people may call and see and ask. We still have stewards in the area. We still do a newsletter, but we don't print quite as many because it is on the web. We have our Wednesday recap meeting that comes after this meeting. So there is ample opportunity to know something if you so desire. There are also ample opportunity to complain that nobody's telling you anything. So you avail yourself of the opportunity that most fits you and you most appreciate. But there are at least 9 different points of contact now. And that's been going on for about a year and a half, and you can still sign up for it. Regarding the summer meetings, that's a part of the President's report. If you approve the President's report, you approve the meeting status. The Executive Board will continue to meet unless otherwise noted by the President and the Board itself. So I need questions, comments, concerns regarding the President's report. If there are none, we will most likely adjourn and have the drawing, or have the drawing and adjourn. Questions, comments, concerns about the President's report, which includes contract negotiations update. So that Miracle Law in the back.
I just wanted to know, were you aware of a bid that went in to transportation of $483 million, I think, yesterday.
I think yesterday was the date that was anticipated. I didn't know the amount of the bid, but probably since, I don't know, early April, I've been saying 500 million. And so 43 is right in there, even though in the paper they kept talking about 375 and 350 million. I had information that says 500 million, even then. I was corrected quite often, so now I'm redeeming.
Yeah, Ludo.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Ludo has.
Your name?
I'm Colin Beatty.
Colin Beatty. Go,
Yeah,
Colin Beatty.
You know, nice guy. I got an email from Ludo stating that price last night.
Okay. Yeah, that's followed up by the Ludo letter that said, I think that yesterday would be the day that more information would be coming out.
Right, we're scheduled to have a meeting on the 8th with Sarah and her possibly.
Yeah. It probably, continuously, we've been told that the done deal is a done deal. No, that it is not a done deal. We continuously been told that. We continuously allege it's a done deal, it's a done deal, it's a done deal. I had no other anticipation, but it was a done deal. Questions, comments? And we, to my knowledge, other than that $483 million bid, say 43, Colin Beatty, I'm still talking to you, talking to her. She's better looking than me, but is it 483?
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah.
Other than that bid, this local is the only people that put in some kind of bid proposal on parking. And so we have a proposal that counters that bid, sort of. We have a mass grievance that talks about that bid. It's the reinvestment of public assets, but how it affects workers or members is that it sort of displaces them from that work which they've been doing, some of them 20 years or more. What your contract does currently, it says that you won't be out of a job, you won't have loss of pay. So there's a balance that you won't have loss of pay, but you have loss of expense. So it's another service that won't be provided by union workers. As your expense shrinks, so does your leverage. There will probably be more there will be non-union workers in this event that will lose jobs, absolutely lose jobs. And so while they have the promises of the provost and the vice president and even the promises of the president, you have a contract. A promise, as you know, is worth the paper that it's written in. You have a contract. So the people that work there have a contract, no loss of pay, no loss of job. There will be, of course, or there could be a loss of their particular thing that they do, which still is somewhat harmful because you're not doing the thing that you know, right? And so there are other problems, but all of those kind of details will be negotiated with the basement. The bottom line is no loss of pay, no loss of job. So you're still better off than the unorganized who have to kind of depend on, I love you. And unless you are money, I hadn't seen the university love you. Questions, comments, concerns? Last call. I need a motion that the president's report be accepted as given. Do I have such a motion? Miracle Long. Do I have a second? Lynn Hornigan. All in favor of said motion, please signify by holding up your hand. Holding up your hand. Simon says. Okay. Those opposed, same sign. The motion is passed. We will now have the, wait a minute. Do you have any announcements or anything? I'm just begging the privilege. Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to put it in the record to update your, I guess, one of the employees in the South area, Danny Shortridge, passed away and had service on Thursday, which was a housekeeper. So that can go in the bereavement.
Okay. Make sure you get that message to, it's on film now, but make sure you get that message to Mike Seeger, and he'll take care of that. Normally, May's secretary would do it, she's not here. But make sure you get to Mike. All right, we'll have the drawing and we'll stand adjourned. Thank you.
Everybody have a ticket?
Danny Shortridge. South area down there in Bradley, Patterson.
In between here, I'll do a couple of announcements. The first number for the amount of $50. Last three digits, 165. 165. You got a winner. Bring your ticket up here. We'll do your name, sir. I'm sorry. Your name? Roger King. Roger King. Did we do a sign in? Today, from 8:30 to 3 p.m., there is an annual History of Black Columbus Conference
Yeah, I know.
with Reverend James Poindexter. He's the Poindexter Village and importance of legacy preservation site. The conference, hold on a second. I'm still talking. The conference located at Ohio State University African American and African Studies Community Extension Center at 905 Mount Vernon Avenue. Everyone's invited. We'll have these up here at the desk. You take it so you can have the proper information for it. And they want you really to come and participate in there. It has something to do with the destruction of Poindexter Village. Give me the number, Ronnie. The number for another $50 is 163. 163. Randy Gray.
Whoa.
Come on up. Thank you. Randall Gray. Randall. Yeah, get that.
Randolph?
Randall. Call him meeting.
Yes.
When is that meeting?
June the 8th.
June the 8th.
8:30 at the town hall.
Okay. June the 8th, 8:30. Oh, wow.
160.
160. Call him me.
$75.
Is that column meeting?
This is 75. And the last one.
That you call?
We stand adjourned. Have a good
You
morning.
nice guys don't finish last, do they?
Don't hurt nobody.
Wow.